Welcome to WRC, and the World Rally Championship reaches its halfway stage. It's round 7, the Cyprus Rally. The WRC has made a short hop across the Mediterranean from the last round in Greece. That rally is famous as a car wrecker, and things are no easier in Cyprus. Rally HQ is in the holiday resort of Limassol. The Cyprus stages are not only rough and rocky but also very twisty, meaning the drivers have to work extra hard to get their cars around the countless turns in searing temperatures. In Greece, the WRC found a new star as Marco Martin claimed his first victory. Martin's temperament has been questioned in the past, but as others fell down, he had all the answers as he guided his Ford Focus to the finish. This was a big breakthrough for the Estonian.
It was good to get a win, but I think life goes on, and this rally came so quickly that there was not much time to think about the past. We had to think about the future immediately.
Richard Burns still leads in the driver's standings. He knows all about getting round, finishing in the points in all 6 rounds so far. But how does he approach the Cyprus test?
The key to success is going to be a good speed that keeps the car in one piece, and a good speed that you can maintain the concentration all the way through the stages, because there's 2 long stages on this rally, run twice, and I think they'll be quite crucial.
By contrast, it's been win or bust for his Peugeot teammate, the reigning world champion and 2002 Cyprus winner Marcus Gronholm. The Finn has had 3 wins and 3 no scores, so is it time to rethink his strategy?
What are your thoughts on Richard Burns' approach? He's been consistent, he's leading the championship. In a way, do you feel that under the old point system, you've mentioned it before, you would be leading?
But we are not leading now. It's okay. Next question.
When are you going to be leading?
After this rally.
Perhaps the biggest surprise of the season has been Carlos Sainz. Nearly without a drive until an 11th hour call from Citroën, the Spaniard responded by winning round 3 in Turkey and finishing second in the last 2 events to leave him second in the overall standings.
Yes, so far everything is going well. Just looking for the next event, and hopefully we can make a good result again.
Subaru's Peter Solberg just lost out in an epic tussle with Sainz in Greece, but showed with his podium finish that he's one to watch in Cyprus. Cyprus also marks the end of an era as we say goodbye to the Skoda Octavia as it makes way for the new Fabia WRC. Can Tony Gardemeister or Didier Auriol make it a farewell to remember? So in the Drivers' Championship, here's the figures that matter. Richard Burns leads by 5 points from Carlos Sainz. Marcus Gronholm in 3rd, Marco Martin now in 4th, and Peter Solberg is starting to make an impact. In the manufacturer's standings, Peugeot lead ahead of French rival Citroën, but there's a real battle for 3rd between Ford and Subaru. So, on to round 7, and a ceremonial start in the host town of Limassol got the rally underway. But it was the rocks of the gravel roads in the Troodos Mountains that awaited the drivers on Friday morning. Still, everyone is upbeat and ready to do battle. Here's Nicky Grist to give us the lowdown on the first stage.
Day 1 has a total of 4 stages, made up of 2 run in the morning and then repeated in the afternoon. This first test is one of the fastest of the rally and has been used many times in the past. After the Cruise pre-rally recce, they report this opener as the smoothest of the whole event. Although this stage does not have any hidden dangers, it will be a taster of what this rally and the Troodos Mountains has in store for the Cruise.
For the 4th rally in a row, Richard Burns is the first car out and has the job of sweeping the road. The view ahead shows the stone-covered stage. He goes carefully to avoid danger, but as he passes, he's sweeping the racing line. Bad news for Burns, good news for the following cars. Carlos Sainz should be first to benefit, but he can't cash in. There's trouble with either his suspension or his transmission, and it's costing time. With his 2 main rivals in trouble, it's a great opportunity for Marcus Gronholm, and he's fastest so far. After a stunning performance in Greece, Marco Martin and the Ford are favourites here, but the Estonian is off the pace. Meanwhile, Petter Solberg's taking advantage of the road sweeping. He sticks to the clean line with millimetre-perfect accuracy. Watch the clock to see how much road sweeping is costing the front runners.
Cut it to right, 20. 2 left over crest. Into 4 right.
7 seconds faster, Solberg takes provisional lead. Rough rallies are where Colin McRae usually shines. But it's a slow start, he's 4th fastest.
And right. And fix left tightens and right tightens to slow 3, don't cut.
This is McRae's old rival Tommy Mäkinen. The Finn has a trouble-free run but can't match the pace of his teammate. He's down in 8th. In the 3rd Peugeot, Harry Rovanpera is flying. The road sweeping effect is really working its magic and Rovanpera is taking full advantage, putting Solberg's lead under threat. 6 seconds faster, Rovanpera is the new leader.
Good start, but this couple of big stones middle of the road is incredible, but it's okay.
But the biggest surprise on the stage comes from Didier Auriol. He guides his Skoda Octavia safely through to set 3rd quickest time. So at the end of the first stage, it's Harry Rovanpera who goes into an early lead from Solberg and Auriol. And look at Gilles Panizzi in 5th, and the leading Ford is Mikko Hirvonen in 6th. But the championship front runners are all in the bottom half of the leaderboard. Gronholm is the best of them, while Sainz suffers most. He's 16 seconds off the pace.
The stages of Cyprus Rally are like no other. This round of the championship is by far the slowest, but that doesn't make it any easier. The roads are rough and rutted, and there are 50% more corners than any other event. Just look how hard Marco Martin is having to work on the steering wheel and foot pedals. The effort and concentration required in competition is virtually double. And when you consider the hot climate, the in-car temperatures make it like driving in a sauna.
It's a lucky driver who'll escape this 38-kilometre test without any problems. Richard Burns reckons his road sweeping role is costing him a second a kilometre. That's going to make the task of holding on to the championship lead very tricky indeed. It's a frustrated Carlos Sainz who enters the longest stage of the rally. He knows his handling problems are about to bring him a massive time loss. He's over a minute and 20 seconds off the pace, and victory now seems a distant dream. Colin McRae is also struggling with the Zara. The former world champion won this event 2 years ago, but 2 years on and his frustration is all too clear to see.
You should see the state of your front tyres, there's no tread left on them.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt terrible all the way through.
I think that's what the problem was.
Lots of problems.
There are no problems, though, for Marcus Gronholm as he tackles the hundreds of turns on Lagudra as he leaps up the leaderboard. And so too is Ford's Marco Martin. The Estonian guides his focus around the twisty stage and moves up to 6th. Petter Solberg's off the pace and slips to 4th overall. Meanwhile, his teammate Tommy Mäkinen is on a charge and he claims 3rd. Harry Rovanpera is also flying, still enjoying better road conditions than those in front. He's on for another quick time.
Nypyyn oikein, kun sisältä aukeaa.
Almost 8 seconds faster than Gronholm, he stretches his lead. But there's a new man on his tail, Gilles Panizzi. 3rd fastest on the stage and up to 2nd overall. Meanwhile, there's trouble for Ford's Francois Duval. His Focus is stuck in fourth gear. He tries to switch to the manual system, but he can't do it on the move. He has to stop. The change takes 17 agonising seconds. That's a lifetime in Cyprus. So out of trouble and in the lead, Rovanpera is 14 seconds ahead of Gilles Panizzi, and Mäkkinen's up to third. Didier Auriol couldn't keep up his pace. He's dropped to seventh.
Richard, running first on the road today is not the place to be.
No, not really, but well, there's not a lot we can do about it. We're leading the championship, and that's the present you get.
Have you benefited from the cleaning road ahead?
Yes, but there is clean lines, but there is also big rocks and anyway a lot of sloughs because I have also a lot of wheel spin.
The rally is not my favorite because the rhythm is too slow, but it's okay. It's okay inside the car. I think I have good sensation, good feeling to stay on the line.
Colin, this rally seems to be all about rhythm. You don't seem to have found yours yet.
Never had any rhythm. Have you seen me on the dance floor?
I have, unfortunately. How are you going to find the rhythm in this rally and push up the stage times and do better?
We just have to work a bit with the car. It didn't feel 100%. So some changes to make there, and just try and find the technique more than anything. It's so difficult. It almost feels like you're going backwards.
Stage 3 was a rerun of the morning's opening test, and there proved to be little change to the leaderboard. Even though Harry Rovanpera switched to his spare gearbox in the last service, he makes it look easy and claims his third stage win. But Tommy Mäkkinen's struggling with throttle problems and drops to fourth. And so Marcus Gronholm leapfrogs Mäkinen to claim third overall, with Peugeot set to sweep the podium. But it's not a happy final outing in the Octavia for Tony Gardemeister. He loses fuel pressure on the previous stage and has to make emergency repairs, so the Finn drops down the leaderboard. So, confirmation of Peugeot claiming the top 3 places, but it's the privateer car of Gilles Panizzi and not Richard Burns who makes up the trio with Gronholm and Rovanpera.
Keeping down the in-car temperatures in this rally is a priority for the teams. We asked Subaru and Peugeot about this problem.
The hottest point really is at the start of the stage before we get any airflow really going, and you might see as much as 50 degrees C. Once the car gets moving, the temperature comes down to the ambient temperature. We just work on maximum airflow. You can't get enough cooling for a twisty rally like this, and because it's slow, the aerodynamics aren't so important, so it's just everything for cooling the engine.
Starting from Greece, we equip our cars, our rally cars, with air conditioning system. The difference was between 10 and 15 degrees centigrade. And the budget temperature for the drivers also was completely different. The budget temperature of 2 of the drivers at the end of the stages in Greece, running without the air conditioner system, were 40 degrees centigrade.
This is not just the longest, but it's also the roughest and most demanding stage of the rally. 90% of the stage is made up of narrow and very twisty roads. The first 15 kilometres has heavily rutted corners, with sharp stones jutting out of the surface. Expect tyre wear and punctures in here. After this short stretch of tarmac, the last 21 kilometres has a very loose and sandy surface. Here there are a mass of loose square-edge rocks, both at the sides and in the base.
Championship leader Richard Burns has had a tough start to the rally as road sweeper. Already using his spare gearbox and down in 10th, he needs some luck to get into the fight. But luck isn't on his side.
You don't have to put something with the manual on. Put the manual on and do it quickly. Do it quickly. Do it quickly. Do all the things you need to do. I'll just drive.
Okay.
I can't change it. I've still got throttle. Still got full lap.
It's a tortuous ride to the end for the Englishman.
No hydraulic pressure, no gear change, no dips, and no throttle.
It's not good news for Marcus Gronholm. What goes wrong on one Peugeot could easily go wrong on another. But the world champion makes it through without incident and heads back to the safety of service. The hydraulic problem that dogged the Focus in New Zealand is back.
33 plus left. Now 26. Right. Hang on. Try and find the right place for me.
Marco Martin needs to switch to the manual gear system. Dragging the Ford through the remainder of the stage is really hard work.
4 minus right. 50.
Meanwhile, Sebastian Loeb is on a charge. Despite this spin, he ends day one the best of the Citroens. But the biggest problems on this stage are in Tommi Mäkkinen's Subaru. But the Finn can't blame anyone but himself. The impact with the rock splits his wheel rim.
We have to stop on the stage and see what's wrong. Okay.
Tommy, we hear you've had problems. Can you tell us what it was?
Yeah. I have a broken steering.
Did you fix it in the stage?
We changed the tire and we just... we had to stop the work.
With all the problems in front, Harry Rovanpera must be thinking he's going to make it to the end of day one with his lead intact. But Harry seems to be jinxed. So many times he's been in a commanding position only to have some problem deny him. Another Peugeot, another gearbox problem. He can only select second and third gear, and it costs him a lot of time. The lead is gone, and it's a heartbroken Harry who heads back to Limassol.
Harry, you seem very frustrated. What's the problem?
Gearbox. Sometimes working, sometimes no. Sometimes it's third gear stay long way and servos and slow corners and...
So after an unbelievable stage, it's a complete reshuffle at the top. Marcus Gronholm leads from Rovanpera and Solberg. Panizzi slips to fourth. Sebastian Loeb is the best of the Citroens. But problems for Carlos Sainz, Francois Duval and Didier Auriol means they are among the big names who have a hard fight ahead in the scramble for points.
Marcus, leader at the end of day one. You seem to have had a relatively trouble-free run today.
Yeah, no big problems, and just we have something now in the car, in the rear suspension. I don't know. It was noisy in the end of the stage, and car was a little bit funny. We lost some seconds maybe, but not a big problem.
Marcus Gronholm predicted he would lead the Drivers' Championship at the end of the Cyprus rally. At the moment, he's going the right way about it. Join us in part 2 to see if he maintains his challenge. Also in part 2, we profile the man who currently leads the Drivers' Championship, Richard Burns. And if you want to keep up to date with all the WRC's vital statistics, take a look at the website at www.wrc.com. Welcome back to the WRC via Inmarsat. Day one of the Cyprus rally did not deliver the carnage forecasted, but still showed nothing could be taken for granted here. Harry Rovanpera was the surprise early leader, winning the first 3 of the day's 4 stages. But gearbox problems on the final stage allowed his Peugeot teammate and fellow Finn Marcus Gronholm to take over the lead. Petter Solberg finished the day in third, 1 place in front of Gilles Panizzi. While the Citroens of Sebastian Loeb and Colin McRae were closing in after a largely frustrating day for the French team. It's only 7:30 in the morning and already the temperature is climbing above 30 degrees Celsius. Today these crews are going to earn their money. There's 10 hours of hard battle ahead.
We ended day one with the roughest stage in the World Championship. This morning we start with the slowest. It's virtually second and third gear for all the stage with hardly any straights. It's non-relenting. The corners are very tight and deeply rutted with a lot of heavy sand and dust. It's going to be very difficult on the drivers, and I can almost guarantee they'll be glad to see the finish line, where for sure they'll have a sweat on.
Francois Duval's about to discover that rocks aren't the only hazard in Cyprus, but also dust. All power gone, his focus grinds to a halt. This is a problem Ford are familiar with. Marco Martin retired in Argentina with exactly the same thing, and lightning strikes twice for the Estonian.
22 plus right hail. Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that we had in Argentina.
2 right hail.
It's a worry that despite redesigning the intake system, the new Focus still can't handle dust.
We thought we fixed it, but this stage was quite extreme again, so unfortunately it happened again, so we have to make sure it doesn't happen again, but luckily I think the rest of the rallies this year should be okay for us, no problem.
All 3 Citroens are still in the running, but none of them are challenging for the lead. Colin McRae just can't find the speed to match the front runners, and he has no idea why. He's running 6th overall. With Carlos Sainz down in 8th, the best of the Zaras belongs to Sebastian Loeb. He's 5th. Gilles Panizzi's looking for a works drive, and that might explain his recent stunning form on gravel. If he carries on like this, a podium place is a real possibility. But first, he'll have to catch Petter Solberg, and that's not going to be easy. His Subaru Impreza is proving to be sturdy and fast, and he's hot on the heels of the 2 Peugeots in front. First, he snatches second off Harry Rovanpera. His next target is Marcus Gronholm. On day 1, the Finn had minor problems with the mounting of his rear transmission. The retaining bolts were coming loose. And when he started stage 5, those bolts snapped and the transmission's moving around.
FX for Timo. We had the same problem than yesterday already from the start line. Now we have done 9 kilometers and now we have no more props up.
The car is designed to run in 4-wheel drive, but now it's only running with 2 and it's losing a massive traction and time. The clock on the right tells the story.
7.
Nearly a minute down, Gronholm slips to 4th and the rally has a new leader.
Marcus, you're shaking your head. What's the problem?
The prop shaft gone. In the start when I left the clutch, bang, we have only front wheel drive.
What's your plan now then?
I don't know, maybe stop.
So once again, it's all change at the top. Petter Solberg will be delighted to be in front, but Harry Rovanpera's vowed to put the pressure on.
Courtesy of Virtual Spectator, we can show you the difficulties facing Gronholm. Here the Finn has only front-wheel drive on a slippery gravel surface, but his teammate Burns has maximum traction through all 4 wheels. Burns' telemetry shows us how slow this stage is. He's only using 2nd and 3rd gears. When we ride on board with Burns, just look at the extra traction he has as he rockets past his teammate out of this slow corner. While the Peugeots are locked in their own battle, it is Petter Solberg who is really on a mission. He's way ahead at only the halfway point and finishes the stage the rally leader.
Freddie Loix has survived 5 rough stages, but an engine problem adds the Belgian's name to the list of retirements. There's better news though for Hyundai, as Loix's teammate Armin Schwarz is steadily climbing up the leaderboard. Emergency repairs on Richard Burns' gearbox haven't solved his problems. On the morning's first stage, the automatic shift failed again and he's back in manual mode. Gilles Panizzi's been superb on this endurance test, but in the end, it's the car that lets him down. Out of sight of our cameras, he retires.
I don't know exactly why, but maybe the engine stopped at this moment. The temperature, water and oil is too up.
Tommy Mäkinen's chances of lifting himself off the bottom of the leaderboard are thwarted by a badly damaged wheel. Stopping to change it, Mäkinen discovers the wheel will not come off unless he dismantles the suspension. It takes 25 minutes to rebuild the car. Petter Solberg loves a good battle, especially when he's fighting for a win. Harry Rovanpera might be right on his tail, but all's cool and calm in the Subaru. But it's scorching in Rovanpera's car. The 206 has been running hot all morning. Rovanpera just can't keep up with Solberg, whose lead is extended. In the background is Marcus Gronholm. In the foreground is the reason why he lost the lead, the broken prop shaft. But he can't survive for long without it. Running in two-wheel drive, the transmission's had enough.
Now we have no more. The hydraulic level is low, and I think the car. We have stopped at 2.7, and we cannot continue. So goodbye.
So Gronholm's out, but still the boss is smiling.
It's time for my second cigar.
Once again, it was not my fault. So it was the third time now when a technical problem. So I don't know why. It's always something.
Disappointed?
Yes.
Tommy Mäkinen stopped on the road section to fix the wheel. Unfortunately, the repairs take too long and he exceeds the time allowed in the regulations. He's withdrawn from the event by the team. There was little change in the standings on stage 7, but Carlos Sainz leapfrogged the struggling Richard Burns to claim 5th overall. So there's a real shake-up at the top of the leaderboard. Gronholm and Panizzi's retirements mean Solberg and Rovanpera are locked in their own battle. Despite his problems, Richard Burns is still in the points and will be aiming to extend his championship lead. Back at service in Limassol, the Peugeot team are doing all they can to sort out their overheating problems.
Right, there seems to be somewhat of a technical crisis for Peugeot on this rally. Why all the problems?
It's a very specific rally because of the high temperature and very low average speed in the stages, so engines are suffering. What we are a little bit concerned about is water temperature. So we work in order to cool the engine a little bit down for the next stages. And everything is linked to this high temperature.
It would have been good to have Marcus there. It would have been nice to have a good fight with him, because this rally, I think I'm good at taking him, so yeah.
You think you can continue on this pace and win?
Yeah, you know, I don't have I haven't used my proper pace yet, you know. This rally have to be calmed down a little bit, so if it's close tomorrow, I will go for it, no problem.
As the season nears the halfway point, Richard Burns is the man leading the Drivers' Championship. Last season, his first with Peugeot was one of ups and downs. Here he speaks about what's making the difference this year.
Last year was pretty tough coming to terms with everything. I expected a big change, and I certainly got a big change. I sort of put some things aside to make some space, if you like, to learn about the team. This year I've got a lot fitter over the winter, spent more time concentrating on that and on the testing and on my relationship with the team, and I think this year that we're sort of reaping the rewards of that.
Although he's championship leader, the validity of this has been questioned in some quarters as he's yet to win an event.
What I find strange is that people feel the need to criticise somebody who's leading the championship, you know, so I'm very sorry, but I don't really care what anybody says. I am leading the championship, and I'll do it my way, and I'll continue doing it my way because it works. I still try and win rallies. That's not a question. So if you're on the podium for 4 consecutive rallies, what can you do? They can criticise what I like, but I'm enjoying leading the championship.
This isn't destined to be a memorable farewell to the Skoda Octavia. A tree stump puts an end to Tony Gardemeister's challenge.
Kieli poikki. Oho, se jää jumiin. No tässä se on.
It's not all over for Ford. Their chances now rest on the very young shoulders of Mikko Hirvonen, driving a 2002 spec Focus. He's in 7th, and if his car survives, he's on for points. Carlos Sainz widens the gap between himself and Richard Burns. The Englishman's car is so hot it automatically switches into safe mode. That means a dramatic loss of power.
Braking long. There's the 90 right plus in.
Sebastian Loeb punctured on stage 9 but still set a competitive time. That's down to the run-flat mousse system in his tyres. But in the scorching temperatures, Petter Solberg is on fire.
Short 3 right of a junction, into 6 left and line into unseen, hairpin right, double tightens a gap. Into 1 left minus. Opens, slow, tight hairpin right.
But fresh from service and determined to catch Solberg, Harry Rovanpera is on a charge. He's put his earlier problems behind him, and on both stages 8 and 9, he's faster than his rival. Solberg had better watch out. So this is the leaderboard after stage 9, brought to you via Imosat. The gap between the top 2 drivers is reduced to just 5 seconds. Richard Burns is still in the points, but he needs to fix his hot engine.
You've seen how Sebastian Loeb was saved by the anti-deflation system when he punctured on stage 9. Ford's technical director Christian Loriot shows how it works.
This type of rough gravel rally, one of the key factors is puncture resistance. And for that, Michelin is a very good product which is called the ATS, which is effectively a very big foam donut which is inside the tire. When you get a puncture, the pressure goes out and the donuts re-expand. As it's running on the donuts, the ATS is getting hotter as well, and it expands further. And then you effectively don't feel the puncture.
Galaterea is the roughest stage on the whole event. But before the stage had even started, Burns had to stop on the roadside to replenish his coolant, but the engine's taken a battering. He makes it through, but he's only 12th quickest.
Flat left to flat right, 60, fast right plus cut. Sorry, fast right plus long, 50 braking, slow medium left.
This is the first Cyprus outing for the Citroens, and their strength is mighty impressive. Colin McRae is on a charge.
Here, left right over crest and left tight 2.
But he gets caught out by a rock that's been thrown into his path by an earlier car, and the suspension's badly bent. Luckily it was near the end of the stage and it doesn't cost him much time. Petter Solberg is relishing the rough stuff, and once again the Norwegian is blisteringly quick.
6 left half long, 30, 6 right minus half long, tightens don't cut, 40, 6 right don't cut.
Harry Rovanpera is 10 seconds slower than Solberg, but he's not worried. There's still 8 stages left to catch him. So Solberg extends his lead to 14 seconds. Despite his big collision with the rock, Colin McRae holds on to 4th as he heads off to service. Richard Burns won't make it there though. His cooling problems have proved terminal. For the first time this season, the Peugeot driver retires.
I'm surprised, to be honest, that the engine got this far, because all of the road section has been running at 150 degrees, the oil and the water, so it's obvious the head gasket's gone, and not a lot we could do, but just 2 kilometres from the service, so we had to walk a little bit.
Colin, you're still in 4th position overall. We're about to have a look under the bonnet. What was the problem on that last stage?
Just caught a rock. I don't know where it came from. I didn't even see it, but it broke the rear suspension and almost put us, well, it did put us off the road, but we managed to get back on again.
Got Harry Rovanpera behind you, just 14.3 seconds. He's really on a charge today. Can you hold him back?
Well, it's sort of give and take all day from what we can see. He takes 5 off us, so we go and take 10 off him, and so on, and that seems to how it's been going so far today, and I'm sure it'll be continue like that for the rest of the afternoon.
This service also saw the retirement of Didier Auriol due to alternator problems, so farewell to the Skoda Octavia in its final WRC appearance. It was a day that'll go down in history. 9 manufacturer cars retired and only 7 remain. Armin Schwarz is one of them. He's 7th. It might be a small field, but there's still a big battle ahead. Rovanpera is determined to claim the win. But Petter Solberg's not going to roll over. He takes a huge chunk out of Rovanpera and opens up a 25-second lead.
Right bus opens, keep in 30, right bus. Opens 5, keep in 20.
Not even a bird which enters the Subaru through the air vent could distract him.
How lucky was that with that bird?
Sorry?
With the bird.
I don't know.
You would have done if I wouldn't have caught it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A bird came in.
Yes.
Here's confirmation then of how they stand going into the final day. Solberg and Rovanpera are in a class of their own, minutes ahead of the chasing pack.
Petter, can you win your 2nd World Rally Championship event tomorrow?
I really hope so. I'm trying to, and it's been a very hard and good day actually. So let's hope we can make a victory for Subaru and Pirelli here.
So the Cyprus Rally bites back with a number of big-name retirements. But 2 drivers have battled through to fight it out for top spot. Petter Solberg and Harry Rovanpera. Join us in part 3 for the duel in the sun. Also in part 3, find out who Nicky Grist chooses as the Inmarsat star of the rally. To keep up to date with events in Cyprus and all the WRC news, check out the website at www.wrc.com. See you after the break. Welcome back to the Mediterranean for the Cyprus Rally. Day 2 saw a host of retirements. Marcus Gronholm looked to have found the winning formula on day 1, but he lasted just 2 stages of the 2nd day, a broken prop shaft forcing him out.
So, goodbye.
The leader at the end of the day was Petter Solberg. His advantage over 2nd place Harry Rovanpera was over 25 seconds. But as you've seen, this margin could disappear anywhere on the 6 remaining stages. And so to the final day's action, and the nerves are all too clear to see.
Today's action shifts well to the east of Limassol. This opening test descends steeply on a twisty road, which means it's difficult to keep the car on a good clean line. It's also hard on tyres and brakes. At 2/3 distance, the crews take this hairpin junction. Now they start a flat-out section, which will give them a rest from the relentless corners. It does not last for long, as the last part is slow once again, but now with jumps and bumps.
Armin Schwarz starts the day in 7th place. If he can complete the day, he'll score valuable points for Hyundai. Ford's Mikko Hirvonen is the youngest driver in the WRC, but he's gaining valuable experience here in Cyprus. He makes it safely through the day's first stage, and he's still in 6th. Citroën will be more than pleased with their performance on this rally. All their cars have made it to day 3. And Carlos Sainz's 5th place finish is worth fighting for. The points he'll gain will mean he'll close the gap to Richard Burns in the title race. 1 place above Sainz, Colin McRae is also focused on the championship. There's been few worries in Sebastian Loeb's Zara. He's got the better of his more experienced teammates and spearheads Citroën's Cyprus campaign. There's been plenty of hard-stopping moments in Harry Rovanpera's car. He's overcome gearbox problems and an overheated engine to be in this fight for victory. Rovanpera goes fastest and lays down the challenge to Petter Solberg. The clock on the right shows Rovanpera's time and Solberg's target.
Into short hairpin, right tightens, opens, and line into 2 right minus, tighten short, 1 tightens.
Solberg goes faster, his lead is extended to half a minute. So just 5 stages to go, and this is how they stand on the leaderboard. Solberg holds off Rovanpera, Loeb's on for 3rd with his teammates McRae and Sainz just behind. Privateer Alistair Ginley is having a great rally and he's on course to score drivers' points. Sebastian Loeb is Citroën star in Cyprus. But there's trouble lying in wait on stage 14. He's lucky it's not a huge impact and the car survives intact. Citroën boss Guy Freckelin keeps an eye on Loeb's time. But rocks are the least of Loeb's worries. The Zara's developed a problem with its electronics on stage 15 and the engine keeps cutting out. Harry Rovanpera is in a dilemma. Does he go flat out and risk making a mistake, or does he go gently to hold on to 2nd place? But there's no holding back Petter Solberg. He's giving it maximum attack. If anything goes wrong at this speed, it can be very costly. And rocks in the middle of the road are very bad news.
1 left minus, 1 right plus, neat 1 left tightens, 30.
Looking at it again, you can see it's a big stone, but Petter has luck on his side. No damage is done.
1 right plus, neat 1 left tightens.
And it hasn't slowed the Norwegian. Fastest on 2 consecutive stages, Solberg's lead just got bigger, but he'll be relieved to get back to service. This is the final service, and it's Subaru's last chance to check everything's perfect with the leading car. Everyone in the team is desperate for this win. It'll be their first of 2003. Solberg Jr. can barely stand the tension.
This will be a very important victory for both you and Subaru.
Yeah, it will be very important also for the championship the rest of the year, and plan was a victory in Greece also, but it's too bad. But you know, it's looking good so far anyway.
In the mountains, the clouds are moving in. Sebastian Loeb is back on the pace after his electrical problems, but he's over 3 minutes behind Harry Rovanpera, so it looks like 3rd is the best he can do here. Harry Rovanpera has worked hard in Cyprus. He's had gearbox and cooling problems that have threatened to put him out of the rally. But once again he hits trouble, and once again it's his transmission. A drive shaft is broken.
Oh, something's happened. We not hit anything, but something's happened. I don't know, and now his car not going very slowly, and some problem in the right rear.
The drive shaft failure has upset the handling of the car, and now he only has 3-wheel drive.
oikein nopea maa.
It's cost Rovanpera over a minute to Loeb. Unaware of his rival's worries, Petter Solberg is still on a charge. He's fastest on stage 16.
Opens. And 2 left minus. Into short hairpin. Right tightens.
On the road section, Harry has a chance to check out the damage. On closer inspection, he finds it's the front left drive shaft that's broken. Co-driver Risto Pietalainen phones rally engineer Emily Lefeur for some urgent advice.
It's the best way. Try to take it out, and after you locked only the front wheel, the front diff.
Under Emily's instructions, the driver turns mechanic. Rovanpera removes the broken drive shaft to avoid further damage. Heavy rain threatens to add to Rovanpera's woes on stage 17. After the downpour, the stage will be slippery and the three-wheel drive Peugeot is sure to lose more time. Loeb's already been through, and as Rovanpera hits the last few metres of the stage, it's clear he's much slower. Almost another minute lost. Rovanpera's slipping into Loeb's clutches. So the gap between the two French cars is reduced to just over a minute. There's only 9 competitive kilometres to the end, but that could be enough for Loeb to snatch second. The last stage is very slow and twisty, and Rovanpera will be even slower in here. Loeb's determined to take advantage. This is going to be the most agonising 9 kilometres of Harry Rovanpera's life. By the middle of the stage, the Finn's already over 30 seconds down on Loeb. Loeb's having a trouble-free run and he's fast. Now the Frenchman just has to wait and see what Rovanpera can do. If Rovanpera is going to hold the Frenchman off, he needs to set a time within 9 minutes and 40 seconds. It's an unbelievably determined drive that sees Harry finish with a 3-second lead and second place. There's been lots of leaders and 9 retirements, but in the end, a flawless drive from Petter Solberg brings him home to victory.
Snipping. Into caution, don't cut. 3 left tightens. 4 right opens, 50. 1 left opens and tightens. Flat 6 right half, long of a crest. 60. Short 5 left. Oh, what a good weekend.
It's his second WRC win. Subaru and Solberg are elated.
Very good, Peter.
I was nervous, I tell you. I was nervous.
So at the end of the rally, this is how they all finished. Solberg wins from Rovanpera and Loeb. Also in the points, McRae, Sainz, Herben and Schwarz and the privateer Alistair Ginley. And this is how that result affects the championship. Despite retirement, Byrne still leads, but the margin to Sainz is just 1 point. Solberg's win promotes him to 4th.
Congratulations, Petter. A great drive from start to finish.
Yeah, like we did in Greece, we put it up as a strategy, and I could have worked in Greece, you know, a little bit unlucky with the small things, but here it worked perfect.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Harry, you must be very relieved to get to the end of this rally.
Yes, I needed good result, and everybody need always good result, and
Peso need that 8 points and I need also.
It's a very good result for all the team because we are third, fourth and fifth, so that's very good result. They are very strong, I think. And yes, for me to be faster than Carlos and Colin was important.
Thanks to Rovanpera's gutsy performance, Peugeot hold on to the lead in the manufacturers' battle, but their great rival Citroën creep closer while Subaru move up to third. Harry Rovanpera gained second despite countless mechanical problems. The work of his chief engineer Emily Lefeur was crucial. This is why Nicky Grist chooses her as the Immosat star of the rally. It's a very different experience in store in the next round of the WRC Rally Germany. This asphalt thriller will have you on the edge of your seat. Catch all the action right here in July. As for Cyprus, Peter Solberg's win has given us some of the most memorable scenes of the season so far. Time to get your breath back now as we say goodbye from Cyprus. If you want to find out more about the World Rally Championship, you can always go to WRC.com. See you in Germany.